Hey, I wanted to clarify something before you watch this video. I got the name of the razor wrong for the whole video. I called it a flat bottom tech for most of the video, and then at the very end I figured out that was wrong and I called it a flat bottom new. That was wrong too. This is a new, at least I was heading in the right direction, and it does have indeed a flat bottom here for the base plate. However, for news that are like that, they are called the Deluxe. So this is a flat bottom, a Gillette New Deluxe. Now I can't remember if this is the 15 millimeter or the 17. I believe it's the 17. No, I think I ordered the 17 first. I believe this is the 15. 15 millimeter Gillette New Deluxe. It's a great shaver, as you'll see in the video. Thank you. Our shave today is from Barrister Mann. This is the Lather Games 2018, and today's Barrister Mann Day. A great soap manufacturer, all kinds of great scents and fabulous performance. The blade for today is new to me. It's a Personna, the Royal Stainless Super. Never tried it before. Here's what it looks like. Royal Super Stainless Steel is what it says. And it's in a tech style head because that's what we're going to be using. And this is a flat bottom tech. You can see the bottom of the base plate right here. There's the top. So we'll go ahead and put that on the razor. We have the standard bar type handle. And thanks to that rail going down the middle, got a perfect lineup. This is a beautiful razor. It shaves very well for me. Can't remember if this is the 15 or the 17. Can't remember. Millimeter. I could measure between you're right here to tell you, but I don't have the ruler around. So with Barrister Mann comes one of my favorite scents from them. I decided to go with Leviathan because it is kind of discontinued right now. Hopefully they'll bring it back. But it was a couple of these items here have been with me since my early days of shaving on purchases. And so the Leviathan, I believe, was one of those. Got that little Amazon sticker on the back. And then the brush was one of the first good quality brushes that I purchased. And it is a Boar Semogue 830. It's already been soaking for a few minutes, so he is ready to go. I do have hard water, and it's room temperature. So I've got my Dollar Tree shave bowl, lather bowl. Let us leather and coffee are really kind of all I get. On the label it says Sandalwood is there too, but I don't really get that. Can't really discern that. All right, we got a divot out of it, 1/4 teaspoon. Not a lot left on the spoon. That's easy to spread around here. Sticks to the bottom pretty well. If you're new to making your own lather with these kind of soaps and you're struggling to get the amount of soap right, this is a great way to do it. Get a little measuring cup. I mean, or you could just do it on your finger or something like that. Like, just get a certain amount that you can gauge, like what covers the back of your thumbnail or something like that. And then let that be your starting point. oh, well, I need a little bit less than that usually. And if you put that in the bottom of the bowl, and so you know exactly how much soap you're going to be using. Whereas if you do the load thing, and it varies depending on how much water is in your brush, you know, and then of course you've got to count and see how long you load, which is easy. I mean, it's simple, and that's why a lot of people do it. But if you're having trouble with it, then maybe get yourself a soup bowl from the Dollar Tree. I like these high vertical sides. Keep the lather in. Every once in a while my brush will knock on there, but it's big enough to where it usually doesn't, and it's not a problem because I would rather have the lather be contained and not overflowing than hear an occasional knock. And so I like it. And it's got curved sides here that helps to flex the brush hairs. The nice slick soap as I wash out the measuring spoon. All right, wet my face now. Had a great shave last night with a Treat silver blade. Very nice. Excuse me. And here we go. I stopped, this was one of my first brushes, and I stopped using it because I'm a bowl latherer, and this short handle just gets kind of messy with bowl lathers. And this, as you can see, is lucite, or whatever that plastic they use is, and it gets slippery when the suds come up. Now the brush tips and the actual knot here, love it. So there's one with a longer handle. I think maybe it's the 1800. I can't remember which one is the. There's one that's the equivalent of the 830, just with a longer wooden handle. I love the lucite for longevity, and that's why I picked it based on comments and things like that. But at the time, I didn't know what a problem it would be for bowl lathering. And I guess it just depends on what kind of bowl latherer you are. But I generate my whole lather in the bowl. Some people kind of do first third of their lather, and then the rest they kind of will complete on the face. But looking forward to feeling this guy on my face because I do miss him. So that's a teaspoon of water in there now. I can smell that coffee and leather at the same time. That's a good scent. Glad they made this. See, already. The Amazon has a lot of bad shave gear in its inventory. Even if you read the reviews, it's just not as good as what's available other places like Maggard razors. Now, you know, when I do buy a pack of 100 blades, I do check Amazon first, because sometimes that's a place where they do, you do get really good pricing. But at the time, last year, 2017, early in that year is when I kind of started with these premium ingredients for a shave. And so I was grateful to, in general, make good purchases on Amazon. I did end up, I bought some Barrister Mann, some Katie's Bubbles, and some of those have disappeared off Amazon, and they're only available through the vendor or, you know, through some of the other sites. But those are great, and the pricing was good at the time. And then this brush, good purchase. And it's getting slippery, and you have to use more muscles to kind of hold on to it and keep it where you want it than if you don't have soap on lucite. Doing good. Got a pretty good sheen to it. Now we've got 3 teaspoons in the lather. There's still some kind of jaggedy peaks on part of it, and so that's how I know to keep on adding water. So most of my Amazon purchases were good. I did buy some Merkur razors, some Parker razors. And I like Parker better than Merkur. I think the build quality is just a little better. But I've sold most of those back on the used market and made, you know, pretty good money on those. I mean, no profit obviously, but I didn't lose too much. Let's just put it that way. And the Merkurs get a lot of love on Amazon, but the quality of build is just not nearly what you can get with other razors, in my opinion, and there are some other people who share that. So you can't hold this with your fingertips when it gets all slippery. You have to kind of, you know, wrap your fingers around it to be able to control it, and that's why your fingers get all up in the soap. Let's do a little peaks test. Hey, pretty good. Oh, we just shaved with this. 3 teaspoons of water for about a 1/4 teaspoon of soap. Sounds usually about right. I'm gonna wet my face for a second time. That is all the pre-shave routine that I do. You are more than welcome to have like a pre-shave soap. A lot of people use a glycerin soap for their pre-shave, which I've heard works very well, but I'm just kind of keeping it simple. Basically kind of use my first pass. There's my pre-shave. Wonderful feel on this brush. Really nice. Not too scrubby. Nice and soft. But it's soapy, and so my fingers keep slipping down. I just thought, I mean, this is chunky. I could drill and add something to the end of this razor if I really wanted to kind of keep it. This is very interesting because the last time I used this brush, I didn't have a good comparison with how soft and all that. My Semogue brush I use most is the Semogue Owners Club. And it is definitely a little softer than this. The tips and stuff, it's not quite as grindy on the face, you know, as scrubby. I don't know that I'd call this one scrubby, but it's just that the SOC is less. All right. So the blade the Personna Royal Stainless Super. Just see what it does. My first time using this one. "24-hour growth" is all I have. Good amount of blade feel right now. You know, like it's an aggressive, or kind of like an aggression. I might say a 7 out of 10. Not super aggressive, but higher than medium. You can work on it. Sometimes with these type heads, you can change your angle a little bit. Raise the handle up away from your skin to make the blade be a little flatter against your skin, and sometimes that takes away some of the roughness. But with a well-designed razor, that roughness is what's giving you a great shave. All right, a little quick rinse. Man, that smell is taking me back, because I really haven't smelled it very much since I used it over a year ago. The lather was a little thin, and so I just dabbed my face a little bit so that we can not quite have very much water on it. This is a great little brush. Especially for me, because as you can see, I wear a goatee, and so I don't need a really big brush to take up all the space. Mixed the lather a little thin today, it looks like, but it's shaving just fine. If I wanted to thicken it up, I could go back to the puck and just get a little extra soap. Wouldn't take much at all. Or I could just keep working it with the brush, because eventually, due to evaporation, I believe, you would get to kind of where you want to go, and thin some water would leave, and they would get a little thicker. But I think it'll shave just fine. Cross grain pass on the cheeks. Very smooth and comfortable for this second pass. So in terms of comfort, this seems like a good blade. Also note that if the first time you use a blade, it's a little more rough than you might enjoy, give it a second chance with another use. Because so many times the manufacturing process will leave a little burr on the edge of the micro edge of the blade, and you wear that burr away with your first use, and then the blade becomes smoother. I've seen it happen in a good many blades. People who only use a blade once, and it's kind of justifiable because they're so inexpensive, are missing out on some of the smoothness of some of those blades. Well, I'm very glad that I dabbed the water off my face. before that second pass, so let's do that again. Now the bores don't quite hold, and this is still probably a young brush. It may just have 30 uses in it, so it's going to get even better as the years go by. Softer tips and more splay, hold more soap, that sort of thing. There we go, good enough. How much lather do we have left after 3 passes? Just enough for a touch-up. So definitely good that I used the full 1/4 teaspoon for Barrister Mann, and that has proven itself through a few different scents and a few different batches. So looks like the way that I need to go. All right, probably be a pretty smooth run here. Right here is trouble area where I have to be very purposeful about my angles. Everywhere else shaves pretty easy. Not a whole lot of blade feel at this point. There is on this, this neck hill, because of that muscle or tendon. And so I could get some aggravation if I wasn't careful around that area. Neck hairs grow sideways. And so that's why I basically do 3 cross grain passes by going either from the top or from the bottom. Cheeks are normal, you go straight down. Everybody's different with that. Some guys have swirls everywhere, and it's really tough for them to get a good, comfortable shave. I'm blessed in that regard. I'm also blessed that I can shave every day. Love it. Comfort is very high right now. A few little spots may feel just a little irritated. I see maybe 1 or 2 little areas. It's late at night. I'm not going to bother to do a touch-up pass. Let's just check the results. That's good. That's average with just 3 passes, and so it would probably get a little better if I did my usual touch-up pass. So that's a pretty good blade. Average to slightly above average blade, it looks like, for this razor. And also remember, that's just for my face. Your face and hair may be very different. Could totally affect how this blade and razor work for you. There we go. So let me get some balm. All right, well, I checked and haven't used this particular post-shave product as a scent here at all in the lather game. So this is another unique guy here. Lather and Wood, Sandalwood. I love the scent. I got good customer service with them. This was, oh, you know what? This is also appropriate for this shave because this is another of those first products that I got on Amazon. And it's a good one. It irritates my skin just a little bit, but the scent is so nice that I keep coming back to it. Very nice. And I picked this one also mainly because the scent in the Leviathan is supposed to have a sandalwood component. So I figure, hey, let's go ahead and bring some real sandalwood in here. See how it changes everything. The Leviathan is pretty much evaporated in terms of the scent, you know, from my face. So now we can switch to sandalwood, one of my favorite scents. And this scent exactly matches their soap. If you like sandalwood, I think it's a pretty authentic sandalwood scent. Also, I am sorry, but I have been calling this razor a flat bottom tech the whole time, and I was wrong. This is a flat bottom new, N-E-W. All caps is usually how we refer to it. And it's a flat bottom new. Sorry about that. And I think we're good. I'm going to clean up my area here. Very good comfort on the face. This soap, I went and did an errand, checking to make sure I didn't reuse a post-shave product that I've already used during the games. I want to keep those unique. And I noticed no drying on the face. So another great thing about Barrister Mann is their the post-shave feel, how it treats your face, keeps you from, you don't get that drying out sensation or anything like that. All right, so I'm going to pause you while I clean. So I kind of stropped the brush up and down on the towel and was just reminded, and this guy is just a great little brush. Sure, he's got grip issues with the soap, but if you want, you can, when that starts to happen, just wipe the handle off and keep on going. But for me, I just kind of put him on the back shelf. And he's got a great little splay starting. The splay is easily done on the face. Not a lot of rough stuff on the face with this brush. He may not be as smooth as the Semogue Owners Club, but he's a great little brush. He got high marks on Amazon, which is why I picked him up. Turns out that was a pretty accurate depiction. So this blade turned out to be kind of average to maybe a little bit better than average, which is cool. I don't know where it ranks on the price range. It's not super available in the US, I believe. I mean, it's just not all over the place like so many other ones are. Royal Stainless Super and Personna, as I've been saying. One of the nice things about it, though, it doesn't have those waxy dots that are on the blade, holding the blade into the paper. And so those aren't there to gum up your razor and cause you to have to clean your razor head. So that's a nice little perk, just in case you want to put that on your list, if that's a high priority. And to tell you the truth, if I find two razors that are like that, two blades that both perform reasonably well, even if one is a little bit better than the other, if it's got gummy material on the blade every time I use it, and the other one doesn't at all, I'll choose the one that's a little bit less effective. Because come on, it's just a shave. And I'd rather maybe do an extra pass than to have to work so hard to try to ungum up the razor I've been using. Especially because sometimes when you don't need a super close shave, you wouldn't have to do the extra pass anyway. You do the extra pass just when you needed the top-notch shave. So, and most of the time, I probably wouldn't need to do that. So I'd definitely take the one that has less gum. So maybe not the best shave I've ever gotten in terms of results, but everything else is great. Love the Leviathan scent, and the sandalwood that I put on at the end. It's been a blessing, a treasure to smell as I've been cleaning up. Love it. The performance and comfort of everything was terrific. Very nice. So I'm going to take this little guy back to my brush area, let him dry off. Who knows? I mean, I could sell him, I guess. I could maybe see if I found something something knobbish to put on the end of this guy. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be worth it. But you know, if his handle were just a little bit longer, then he might be great. For me, you know, face latherers, probably this is just right for you. All right, flat bottom new. That was what the razor was, not a tech. Some of you probably knew that, right? That's it. It's late. Time to go to bed. Take care.